On the last Saturday of July, I was standing on a ridge in the Wasatch Mountains of Utah. And it's the kind of ridge that makes your palms sweat just looking at it. All right, imagine a series of sharp skyscraper Jenga towers, and think about picking your way up and down them over and over and over again for 36 miles. This giant ridge line is called the Whirl, or the Wasatch Ultimate Ridge Link-Up, and it connects more than 20 peaks that line Little Cottonwood Canyon. Now, as the sun was setting, it'd already been up there for 14 hours, and I wasn't even halfway done. The part I was facing was the rocky spine between unnamed peak 10,864 and Sugarloaf Mountain. Locals call it Devil's Castle. I've been thinking about this part all day, as most of those who have completed the Whirl, which at this point was 31 men and 4 women, consider it to be one of the cruxes with some high-consequence fifth-class scrambling. So sunset wasn't the only thing brewing. From the north and the west, clouds the same color as the fresh bruises on my shins were rolling in. But it wasn't until I saw the lightning strike a few peaks away that I actually sat down on a rock to reconsider my situation. Lightning on a ridge is a bad sign. Your skull is the highest point in the sky, so I knew I should bail, but the thing is, I really wanted to finish the Whirl. It was different than other mountain objectives I'd tried, and I was a little obsessed, simply because of all the completions, no woman had finished it without the presence of a man, so no all-female teams, no solo women, and no offense to men, but I thought that was ridiculous. Why weren't more women trying this? It made me think back to the first big trail run I ever did, the 27-mile 4-pass loop tucked inside Colorado's Maroon Bell Snowmass Wilderness. A friend had asked if I wanted to join him and 2 coworkers on the loop, and I'd done Green and South Boulder, but nothing like the 4 12,000-foot mountain passes we'd have to go up and over. I was intrigued, but I also had my doubts. What if I couldn't keep up with the 3 men? I was healthy, uninjured, and I lived for long days in the mountains, but still, the thought of being the weakest link, especially as the only woman, unsettled my confidence. As I mulled it all over, there was something I couldn't get out of my head. A few years ago, Hewlett-Packard released an internal study, and what they found was women were waiting to apply for jobs or promotions until they met 9 or 10 requirements. Men, on the other hand, would apply with just 6. And that's when it hit me. Ultra running isn't so different from corporate America, okay? I had the exact same qualifications as these 3 men, yet I was the only one concerned with it. And that's when I knew. If they were going to try, I was going to try. A year later, as I started researching the Whirl, I figured it might be the same case. Such a technical trail demands not only expertise, but confidence. A 24-hour-plus mission demands not only endurance, but faith in one's capabilities. And what that job application statistic tells me is that these traits of faith in oneself and confidence might not be as intuitive for women as they are for men. And whether that's a product of social conditioning or otherwise, I won't get into the weeds, but the point is that this disparity persists today in 2018. So I did some thinking. There are 2 ways to say I am in Spanish. One is ser, the other estar. We use ser when talking about elements that are pertinent to our identity, and estar when referencing our mental and physical states of being. So if I want to say I'm confident, I'd say estoy segura. I'm confident now, but that could change in a second. And the way I see it, the difference between ser and estar, identity and states of being, is a sense of permanence. No one is always confident, nor always doubtful. Now, I'm not a professional athlete. I simply enjoy finding and expanding my own boundaries, so when it came down to it and I'd examined the entirety of the Whirl, I couldn't find a single reason not to try. And even though at that point, no woman, to my knowledge, had ever tried it alone. And of course, I was nervous, but once I had my contingency plans and a lot of snacks, I'd already bartered with my ego, and she wouldn't be too upset if I bailed. So as I sat up there on that rock, watching the purple-gray clouds roll in and hearing the lightning ricochet across the peaks, I knew just being up there was enough. And I hightailed it to the canyon floor, ran some wet, soggy miles back toward the car. Now, there's another way to express confidence in Spanish. Tengo fe o tengo confianza. I have faith, I have trust. And this having something makes me think of confidence as something outside of us, as something that's not intrinsic to any of our beings, as something we can all call upon at our will. So you see, confidence doesn't need qualifications or a 5-star resume. It just needs the right mindset and a willingness to go out and grab it.